Hello students, welcome back to you all after long vacations. How are you students? I hope you all are safe and secure in lockdown period. I, Mrs. Anju Sharma, your social studies teacher, going to teach you today chapter number 6 from your social studies book, Social Studies, Prachi publication, chapter number 6, the Indian Constitution. Its meaning, need, salient features and importance. First of all, I'll tell you something about this Constitution. Constitution of India is the supreme law of India. Just as school needs certain rules to function well, a country also needs certain rules which are called laws. These laws are contained in the Constitution of India. The Indian Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949 and came into force on 26 January 1950. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was the principal architect of the Indian Constitution. Now students, see in your book, first of all I am going to read this first paragraph, meaning of a constitution. A constitution is a fundamental legal document that contains the rules according to which the government of a country functions. These rules or laws are called the basic laws. These laws are superior to all the laws of a country. That is, the laws written in the Constitution act as the source according to which rules and regulations of governing a country are framed. Every law enacted by the government has to be in conformity with the Constitution. However, the Constitution grows and evolves constantly according to the needs, requirements, and aspirations of the people and functioning institution. Now see, the Indian Constitution. A constitution is a fundamental or basic legal document that has rules according to which the government of a country functions. These laws or rules are called the basic laws. Point wise I will tell you. First point I have explained. Now I'll explain it one time more. A constitution, first point, a constitution is a fundamental or basic legal document that has rules according to which the government of a country functions. These laws or rules are called the basic laws. Point 2. These laws are superior or more important to all laws of a country. Number 3. This means the laws written in the Constitution are the sources according to which the rules of a country are framed by the government. Now point number 4. Every law made by the government has to be as mentioned in the Constitution. However, laws may be changed or amended through certain ways of procedures as per the need and situation in a country. These are called as Amendment Acts. You can correlate with the present situation where due to COVID-19, government has made amendment in many laws. Now, second point is need for a constitution. In a democratic country like India, the importance of the constitution is more significant. A constitution is needed for the following reasons. Now I'll explain you here. In a democratic government, citizens play an important role in the functioning of the government, as they are the ones who choose their leaders. The power of the government and citizens' rights are clearly defined in the Constitution. It prevents the government misusing its power and protects the rights of the citizens. Now, point number 2, a constitution is a living document. A constitution is a living document, which means that it changes and grows as per the needs of the people of the country. Point number 3, every constitution is a vision of its founding fathers, which means the people who constituted it or made it. It is a reflection of the social, political and economic aspects of the people. Number 4, in a democracy, the people choose their leaders. Our constitution ensures right to equality to all persons. Our constitution ensures right to equality to all persons. According to this, all people cannot be differentiated on the basis of caste, religion, race, gender and place of birth. The right to equality is one of the fundamental rights mentioned in the Constitution. Point number 5, our Constitution maintains a balance between the rights of the individual on one hand and the interest of the society on the other hand. Point number 6, our Constitution is a very fine example of flexibility, dynamism and continuous growth, which means it can be molded and changed as per needs. Now last point, point number 8, it maintains a logical and constitutional balance among all the three organs of the government, that is executive, legislative and the judiciary. That we will teach you in next chapters in detail. Okay, I think now you might have understood, it is clear to you need for a constitution. Now come to next point, salient feature of Indian Constitution. Salient features of Indian Constitution. Page 48. Our Constitution starts with the preamble, which is an introduction. Purpose of the Constitution. Purpose of the Constitution. Number 1. It contains the basic principles of the Indian Constitution. Number 1. It contains the basic principles of the Indian Constitution. Number 2. It is the soul of the entire Constitution. Next is a detailed written Constitution. Students, our Constitution is the lengthiest Constitution of the world. Our Constitution is the lengthiest Constitution of the world. Number 2. No other Constitution has gone into such smallest details. Number 3. Originally, it was divided into 22 parts, 395 articles and 8 schedules. Now, the Constitution of India has 448 articles in the place of 39, 448 articles in 25 parts and 12 schedules. Number 4 point, our Constitution makers did not want any portion of the Constitution to be unclear. These have been as many as 100 amendments. Third point is a sovereign democratic republic. The term sovereign means independent, that is, having all the powers to run a country. Point number 2, India has a democracy where the people elects their governments by the method of universal adults franchise, that is, all adults of 18 years and above have the right to vote. Point number 3, India is also a republic country, which means the president is elected by representatives of the people. Point number 4, our president is not a hereditary ruler like the British monarch or king. Our president is not a hereditary ruler like the British monarch or king. Number 4, a socialist and secular state. Preamble to the Constitution of India sets out guidelines which guide the people of the country to present the principle of the nation. In a democratic country, it is the people who elect their leaders. All citizens of the country who are above 18 years of age have the right to vote, which is termed as universal adult franchise. All the people of India are treated equal irrespective of creed, color, sex or education. India is a secular state, which means that the citizens of the country, whether they belong to any religion, caste, etc., are equal before the law. Next is single citizenship. The founders of the Constitution provided single citizenship to the people of India, which means everyone has same rights. Next is parliamentary system. Parliamentary system has been adopted by the Constitution of India, which has following features. Number 1. The President is the constitutional head of the state. The President is the constitutional head of the state. Number 2. He acts with the help and advice of the councils of ministers. Number 3. The ministers are together responsible to the Lok Sabha. Fundamental rights are the basic rights granted to every citizen of India. These rights protect citizens against any unfair exercise of power. These are 6 in numbers. Number 1 is right to equality. Number 2, right to freedom. Number 3, right against exploitation. Number 4, right to freedom of religion. Number 5, cultural and educational rights. And number 6, right to constitutional remedies. Next is fundamental duties. Fundamental duties, these are 11 in number, and they should be performed seriously by all citizens, because when we talk about rights, we should fulfill our duties too. Clear? These are 11 in numbers, and they should be performed seriously by all citizens, because when we talk about rights, we should fulfill our duties too. Now next is directive principles. Our constitution gives some directives to the government to improve the condition of the people. These principles help the governments to make social and economic reforms in the country. According to Justice K.S. Hyde, the purpose of the directive principles is to fix certain social and economic goals for immediate attainment by bringing about a non-violent social revolution. I hope it is clear to you. Now students, last is importance of a constitution. Last is importance of a constitution. A constitution signifies independence. A constitution signifies independence. It establishes the main organs of the government, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The Constitution of our country defines the powers and responsibilities of each organ of the government. It regulates the relationship between the three organs and also with the people. It also enumerates our rights and duties as citizens. It contains our national goals such as democracy, secularism, and socialism. To achieve these goals, it envisages various plans for implementation by the government. Every constitution attains meaning and content only from the manner in which and the citizens by whom it is operated. In this way, our constitution is very important to us. It is our foremost duty to respect our constitution. It is a living organism that keeps evolving continuously. It is a living organism that keeps evolving continuously. Now I am going to explain this same topic, importance of constitution. A constitution is a reflection of independence. First point wise I will explain you. A constitution is a reflection of independence. Number 2, it establishes the main organs of the government, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Point number 3, the constitution of our country explains the powers and responsibilities of each organ of the government. Point number 4, it regulates the relationship between the three organs and also with the people. Point number 5, it also counts our rights and duties as a citizen. Number 6, it takes care of our national goals such as democracy, secularism and socialism. To achieve these goals, it makes various plans for implementation by the government. Every constitution becomes meaningful by the way in which its citizens uses it. It is therefore our first duty to respect our constitution as it is a living organism that keeps developing. Okay students, as I have explained the whole chapter, I hope you might have understood. Now let us solve all the exercises. First, A exercise given on page 51. Choose the correct option to answer the following questions correctly. Number 1. A constitution is a fundamental A. legal document, B. social document and C. economic document. Children, I think you know a constitution is a fundamental, legal document. Yes. Number 2 is page 52. Number 2, our constitution is a unique example of A. flexibility, B. continuous growth and C. both A and B. I think both the answers are correct. Our constitution is a unique example of flexibility and continuous growth. Number 3, originally our constitution had A. 400 articles, B. 395 articles and C. 300 articles. I think B is correct, 395 articles. Number 4, our constitution has guaranteed A. 7 fundamental rights, B. 8 fundamental rights and C. 6 fundamental rights. Yes, I think C is correct. 6 fundamental rights. Number 5. There are number of fundamental duties: A. 10, B. 11 and C. 12. Well, you know the answer. B. 11. There are number of fundamental duties 11. Now children, proceed to exercise. Come to exercise B. Answer the following questions. We will discuss all these question answers here, and I will send all the answers again on your WhatsApp group. Number 1. What is a constitution? Explain. Students, you know, answer is, a constitution is a fundamental legal document that contains the rules according to which the government of a country functions. Once again, I am going to repeat this. A constitution is a fundamental legal document that contains the rules according to which the government of a country functions. Question number 2. Why is constitution needed in a democratic country? Answer. Constitution is needed for the following reasons. Number 1. For the participation of citizens in functioning of government. Number 2. To fulfill needs of people. Number 3. To fulfill social, political and economic aspirations. Clear? Now see, third question, B part, third question. Mention any 5 salient features of the Indian Constitution. Students, listen the answer. 5 salient features of Indian Constitution are number 1, the preamble. 2, a detailed written constitution. 3, single citizenship. 4, fundamental rights. And 5, fundamental duties. Now come to question number 4. Write in brief about the fundamental duties. Write in brief about the fundamental duties. Now listen the answer number 4. The Constitution of India lays down 11 fundamental duties which the citizen of India should perform seriously and sincerely. The Constitution of India lays down 11 fundamental duties which the citizen of India should perform seriously and sincerely. I think it is clear to you. Now come to question number 5. What is the importance of Constitution in a democratic country? Answer number 5. The Constitution of our country defines the powers and responsibilities of each organ of the government. It also states our rights and duties as citizens. It contains our national goals such as democracy, secularism and socialism. Students, I think this is clear to you. All the question answers I have discussed here. Written material also we will send on your WhatsApp group. Now see next exercise, exercise C. True or false, right, wrong. Number 1 is, a good constitution constantly grows according to the needs and aspiration of the people. Well, it is right. Yes. This statement is right. A good constitution constantly grows according to the needs and aspiration of the people. Yes, it is right. Number 2, a constitution is a non-living organism. No, this is wrong. Living organism. Number 3, the preamble declares that India is a socialist and secular country. Yes, the preamble declares, I have told you, the preamble declares that India is a socialist and secular country. Yes, it is correct. Right. Number 4, the Indian Constitution is the lengthiest constitution of the world. Yes, correct. Right. Number 5, the fundamental duties have been added by the 30th Amendment to the Indian Constitution. No, this is wrong. The fundamental duties have been added by the 30th Amendments to the Indian Constitution. This statement is wrong. Now come to exercise D. Fill in the blanks. Words are given here. 11. Fundamental, preamble, secular, social and economic. Number 1. Our constitution starts with the dash preamble. Yes, our constitution starts with the preamble. Introduction means. Number 2. India is a dash state. Well, secular state. Yes. Number 3. There are dash fundamental duties in our constitution. Yes, 11 fundamental duties in our constitution. Number 4, the purpose of the directive principles is to fix certain dash and dash reforms in the country. The purpose of the directive principles is to fix certain social and economic reforms in the country. Number 5. Right to freedom is a dash right. Right to freedom is a fundamental right. Now students, last exercise, E exercise, match the followings. Column A, I am going to read column A. Number 1, India is a. Number 2, our constitution is a. Number 3, a constitution is a. Number 4, right against exploitation is a. Number 5, the directive principles may bring. Beside written constitution, secular state, fundamental right, non-violent social revolution and living document. So number 1 is India is a secular state. Clear? India is a secular state. Number 2, our constitution is a written constitution. Our constitution is a written constitution. Number 3, A constitution is a living document. A constitution is a living document. Number 4. Right against exploitation is a fundamental right. Right against exploitation is a fundamental right. Number 5. The directive principles may bring non-violent social revolution. The directive principles may bring non-violent social revolution. Children, now I think all the exercises I have explained along with the chapter. Now listen very carefully. Only question answers, exercise B, you have to do in your social studies copy. Rest of the exercises, remaining exercises, this work you will do in your book. Fill all the exercises in the book. Means exercise A, C, D and E you have to do in your social studies book, and exercise B, question answers only, you have to do in your social studies copy. Your work should be very, very neat and clean. All the solved exercises we will send you in your WhatsApp group. Okay students, bye.